Hollywood channel. Today we're starting a brand new video series. We're gonna do videos about cocktails and cocktail makings, but specifically we're going to be doing a video series about mermaid cocktails. That's right, every single cocktail that you're gonna be seeing on this channel for the next, I don't know, month or so, maybe more, are going to be all cocktails that you can drink that are mermaid related or have some sort of mermaid theme. Super awesome considering summer is around the corner, and you guys can brush up on your cocktail making skills. Now, what do I know about making cocktails? Well, before I became a professional mermaid, I was actually in the service industry full time. I was a bartender and a mixologist, and I have a passion for cocktail making, so I thought it would be really fun to kind of take becoming a mermaid and being a mixologist and putting them together, which would make me your mermaid mixologist. So without further ado, let's get to it. Today we're going to be making a mermaid mule. Now, it is a lot like any other mule. Well, I mean, it's a lot like a Moscow mule, which if you're familiar with a Moscow mule, it takes vodka, ginger beer, and lime. Well, this is a mermaid mule, so it's a little bit different. You're going to need vodka. Any sort of vodka that you have at home is fine. This just happens to be the kind of vodka that I had laying around at home. If you're interested, this is Western Sun vodka. It is 10 times distilled. It is gluten-free, and it's made in Texas. You need blue carousel. Now, blue carousel is a blue liqueur, super awesome. You're going to need some lime juice and ginger beer, of course. Now, what's super awesome about this ginger beer is that it is alcohol-free, because on this channel, I wanted to go ahead and not only show you guys how to make the cocktail version, but I also wanted to show you how to make a mocktail. Now, a mocktail is a cocktail that has absolutely zero alcohol, which means that it is guppy friendly and also friendly to those of us who don't drink. So, in order for the Mermaid Mule mocktail version, you're gonna need simple syrup, which you can make simple syrup at home. Basically, it's sugar and water and you boil it together. You're going to need blue food coloring, and you're gonna use the lime juice and the ginger beer. So like I said, this ginger beer is non-alcoholic, which makes it guppy friendly and also makes this drink more of like a daytime sipping drink, which if you're not worried about drinking or guppies around, you can go ahead and get a ginger beer that has alcohol in it, which will actually up the alcohol content in your drink. So without further ado, let's get started. Real quick, I also forgot to mention that you're going to want to have a jigger to measure out your liquor. You're also going to want to have ice, obviously, glasses, a cutting board and a knife. Make sure you sanitize them before you use them. And you want to have a lime or multiple limes depending on how many cocktails you plan on making so that you can garnish your drink, because a drink does not look complete unless it is garnished. So now, without further ado, let's get down to it. All right, so first we're gonna grab our glass. I chose a pint glass because this drink is kind of big, so I switched out the glasses. And we're gonna actually build this cocktail right in this glass because it doesn't need to be shaken, it doesn't really need to be stirred, so you can go ahead and build it right in your drinking glass if you want to. Now, whenever you're building your cocktail, you wanna first start off with your non-liquor ingredients first. So we're going to start with our lime juice. The recipe, the Mermaid Mule recipe calls for 1 ounce of lime juice. Now you take your jigger, and this jigger has one big side that is 1.5 ounces, and then the other side is usually half of that, which in this case it is, and it's 3/4 of an ounce. Now a standard shot is about 1.5 ounces. So if you don't have a jigger at home, you can always use a shot glass, or you can kind of eyeball, or if you know how to free pour, You should know your counts. So I'm going to go ahead and use the small side of my jigger first. I'm going to pour 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice all the way to the top, all the way to the rim. And pour that in there. And I'm going to pour in another little 1/4 ounce. There we go. Now we're going to use our blue carousel. It also calls for an ounce of blue carousel, so I'm going to do the same thing. Three-quarters of an ounce, another 1/4 ounce. Now the blue carousel is actually the magic mermaid ingredient. This is what makes it a mermaid mule. Without the blue carousel, you're drinking a Moscow mule. And of course, we need the vodka to make it an actual mermaid mule cocktail. Now the recipe calls for 2 ounces, so we're going to use the big side, which is 1.5 ounces. Pour that in. And we're going to pour about another 1/4 of the big one. There you go. Now, the bulk of the cocktail is finished. Now I'm going to add ice. Now this right here, this is a plastic glass. I don't ever want to see you guys reaching into your ice with your hands, because that's unsanitary. And also, don't ever dive in there with an actual glass, because if your glass breaks, it's going to break in your ice and it's going to hurt you or your guests. And if you actually work in a bar or a nightclub, you could be sued, you could be arrested, your whole restaurant or bar could lose its license. So don't do that. Use a plastic scooper or a plastic cup. So we're gonna go ahead and fill this all the way to the top. Now, like I said, this drink doesn't require any mixing or stirring because as you see, the ice blended together whatever other ingredients needed to be. Now, we top it off with our ginger beer. There we go. And now we're done. Or are we? What are we missing, you guys? A garnish, that's right. I'm gonna go ahead and put this over here. I'm gonna show you guys how to garnish the Mermaid Mule. I'm going to take our cutting board, I'm gonna put it right over here. Also make sure you clean your fruit, definitely during coronavirus. All right, so for this drink, we're going to make lime wheels. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the edge of the lime off, as you saw. And we're just going to try and cut wheels. Now this one, I wouldn't use that still has like the edging. There we go. Now a paring knife or a fruit knife is going to work better. As you can see, this knife isn't the best, but it's what I have right now. So you guys use what you got. Now I'm gonna take my lime wheel and I'm going to cut a slit in it. Why am I going to cut that slit? So I can actually put it on my drink. And now we have our Mermaid Mule. Yay! Very, very mermaidy. So we have another lime wheel. We're gonna use that. All right. Real quick, I'm gonna wipe down my area and I'm gonna clean out my jigger and I'm gonna show you how to make the Mermaid Mule mocktail version. All right, we are back. We're gonna go ahead and make that Mermaid Mule mocktail now. So these are for your little guppies at home, and for those of you who don't drink. I'm gonna go ahead and build it in the pint glass the same way that I built the non-mocktail version. All right, so put that there. Like I said, we cleaned out our jigger, so there is no trace of alcohol in it. We are going to start out with an ounce of lime juice. All right. Now, because we cannot use the blue carousel, what we're going to do is we're going to use an ounce of simple syrup to replace that. Now, like I said, you can make simple syrup at home. What I did was I took 2 cups of white sugar and I boiled it into 2 cups of water. So that was an ounce of simple syrup into the cup. So basically, simple syrup, like I said, is just sugar water. So if you're trying to not give your child a lot of sugar, maybe you don't use the simple syrup. All right, we have lime, we have simple syrup. Now, what do? How do we make that blue? That's where the blue food coloring comes in. We're gonna go ahead and add 2 drops. I'm gonna go ahead and add my ice. Now, for my guppies, I have some super cute ice cubes. They are little seashells. Isn't that adorable? We got a star. Got another shell. So this actually isn't how I got the seashell ice cubes. I ended up using a silicone kind of like chocolate tray to use them, but I'm using the Ice Genie to keep them cold as I film, but as you can see, it's kind of leaking out, but it's all right. We power through. I love these ice cubes, by the way, because the little silicone trays, you can make ice cubes with them, or you can make chocolate, or basically anything else with them. All right, now, we're going to top that off with our ginger beer. Makes a super cool effect with the soda. It looks kind of more like an ocean wave, blue on the bottom with the crust on top. Super cool. I'm gonna go ahead and take my knife and stir that. And we're gonna watch the little ice cubes go everywhere. All right. And we are going to garnish our drink. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed yourselves. This is the Mermaid Mule. This is our Mermaid Mule mocktail. Cheers. I hope you guys like the Mermaid Mule as much as I did. If you decide to use this recipe, make sure you take a picture of your drink and tag me in it. Tag at Mermaid Hollywood on Instagram. I'm going to be uploading a new video every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern time because you know, as they say, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. If you really enjoyed this video and you enjoyed making your mermaid meal with me, Mermaid Hollywood, make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that you can join in on all of our mermaid cocktail making. Until next week, cheers!